These people. Okay, these people collective. I just reposted a young lady's video. You all can check it out and see it there. I think I posted it or reposted their video maybe about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour ago. Let me screenshot this one. And as I was saying, these people, it doesn't get any more insidious than this. And that's why I'm going to go here. It doesn't get any more insidious than this. These people. So, collective, this is what your life has been. And this was what all this plot and shit has really been about. And when I say I'm going to keep pushing this, I'm going to run this thing into the ground. Okay. Insidious. So in order for you to look incapable, they sabotaged you so that they can say you're not well. You see that? Do you see the insidious nature of these depraved beings? And they are depraved because you have to be calculating. Okay, and that has to be strategic and planned and executed, and you need players, and you have to involve, all sorts of layers here so that you can get some kind of gain in money. So it's a case where it's like people, these dark energies was attacking the collective and their children constantly for years. Okay, they were doing all sorts of stuff, all kind of cruelty, sabotage, you name it, behind the scene. But they made sure that it looked like they were trying to help you. You see that? This is why I know it's a deeper level of sickness that's going on with these beings, and that it's bigger than what anybody really thinks. Because you have to be sick. You have to be depraved for what these people have done for fame and money and fortune and vengeance and to win at all cost. You got to be sick. You have to be sick, literally sick in the head. To what these people have done to collectives of folks, abusing people, doing all this stuff behind the scene to stress them out, to make their life utterly impossible so that they can then say the person don't know how to handle their affairs. So they can then say they don't know how to handle their affairs. They don't know how to take care of their business. They don't know how to do any of those things. So this money needs to go to us. And, we're going to, we have doctors and lawyers that are willing to sign this. Yeah, you're next. We have doctors and lawyers and professionals that's willing to attest. And so this is why, again, these people, they infiltrated into collectives' workspaces to cause havoc so that they can say, I'm going to say this again, so that they can say you're incapable. So they stalked you there. Okay? And hired weirdos to do things there. So that they can actually stress you out or make you sick or plague you and your children so that it looks like. So if you all are looking tired or rough or all the things, so that can look like, oh, this person don't know how, they don't know how to take care of themselves. They're, they just like, I got Gotcha. And I'm about to have some fun. They stalk you. They stalk your children. They do all of these things in secret, mind you, in secret, so that whatever this money, these inheritances, because I'm telling you, for some of y'all out there, this is big. It's big. And you know nothing of it, though. See what I'm saying? So you got all these players, all these thirsty motherfuckers that'll do anything for a buck. I said it because it's the truth. That'll do anything for a nice little dealy deal. These people. I'm asking the universe, or should I say humans that still are human, or humans and beings that still have a conscience, not seared by their own depravity. You gotta be sick. These people, these organizations, these groups, they gotta be sick. Sick. Harassment, sabotage, infiltration to drive you. That's abuse. That's narcissism. One day, some of you all are out there, you're going to catch a clue. That is coercive abuse. That's actually the violation of individuals' civil rights, misuse of authority, power, resources, fraud. Tampering, sabotage, so that your story could appear real. So that when you go and stand before a judge or a whomever, you can have an incident where someone appears to be something to fashion your story that you were behind creating, though. Sick. And worse yet, for most of you, this is your relatives. And their people. For others of you, this is famous people. These people. Do not give one iota about what's to come. Not one. For any of them. These people were willing to hurt your children. That's how depraved these motherfuckers are. They were willing to do that. That's what sealed it in for me. It sealed it right there. It was bad enough with me, okay? It was bad enough with me. It was disgusting enough with me. It was sick and sad and depraved enough with me. But what sealed it, what put the nail in it for me, is what they were willing to do to my son. Which let me know, oh, you on a whole nother level of sick, and you deserve every ounce of mayhem that is due you. When people show themselves to be willing to do stuff to folks like my son, they show me who they are and they go on a special list of mine. Yes, they do. People who, you know what I'm saying, stole from them. did horrible things to them with their energy, different whatever the fuck entities, and you name it, and inheritances. Like people who are willing to do that. And I'm gonna even go on a limb and say people who know that I am all he has, that actually cares for him, and didn't care, just don't care of how shit would affect him, they go on my list too. Yes, they do. They go on a special list. Because again, how sick and depraved do you need to be? Do you have to be? To be so callous as to not care about how he's affected by your ignorance and your cruelty and your greed. When I started to realize that people were willing to sacrifice and let my son be on the street, that they were willing to watch him and his mother struggle while they knew full well what was theirs, that let me know that these people are severely sick. Because all this fake concern and all of this fake, piety and all that stuff, that's not gonna cut it when you knew full well what was theirs and you wanted it for yourself. And you gave them nothing. Sick. You hired people to do things to them. You hired people to attack them so that they can be sick, so that they can be compromised. Yes, you did. You hired people to follow them out of the state, to terrorize them. Yes, you did. To virtually almost run over them. Yes, you did. So that they can look unstable while they are running for their lives from these depraved beings. They hired people to torture, torment, and harass the collective so that they can look unstable when they have a reaction, when they move, when they decide to this and that and thus and now. So in other words, these people were lying about why. They lied about why the collective relocated, why the collective wants nothing to do with anybody, why the collective just jumped up and left, and why the collective is going through. They all lied and they're all going to pay. Sick. And then they send some of the same people that's involved to the collective. To try to get information, to pretend to care. Sick. To try to figure out how much you know. How much they know? That's sick. Oh, I can't wait. The next few months is going to be interesting. I'm about to do some stuff I ain't playing with nobody. You're sick. Sociopathic and psychopathic to be able to sit there and stand before people like that, knowing full well what they've done and do and continue to plan to do. For money. That's what some of these people scrambling about now, how they can hold on to what they got, how they can, how we can keep what we stole, bitch. How we can hide what we got here in Bahamas. They saved, right? Okay. Right. No, I'm never going to quit. See, this is what happens when people get too comfortable, their ego, their power. It's never going away. Never. It's never going to be the end of it until justice is served. Period. And I mean completely served. Until people cough up the dough, cough up the truth. Until people relinquish them dark witches. Nothing is changing. So people start coughing it up. Until balance is restored, until these people understand who I am and who my son is and back the fuck up. So nothing is changing. Nothing is going to stop. No one will be at ease. As long as the collective is bothered even for 1 millisecond by anybody, as long as there's practitioners in our energy, as long as there are people stalking, no one. As long as there are people lying, as long as there are people stealing, as long as there are people covering up what they stole, as long as people holding loyalty to these toxic witches and warlocks, no one. And I mean even but one person, until full justice has been manifest. I'm talking about the doctors, the lawyers, the famous people, all people. That's right. All relatives and all of their minions. That's right. No one. I'm marking them all. Sick. It's a sickening, it's stomach turning sick. That's really what these motherfuckers was on. And most of all of the individuals involved, this was all driven by about 3 or 4 different things, if truth were to be told. Frail ego, greed, envy, jealousy, entitlement, period. The end. It was never, I'm going to put this on record, it was never anything to do with the collective's eccentric path that they didn't agree with. It was never anything to do with the collective owed them $1,000 from back in umpteen thousand ago, and even though everybody was sabotaging even then, and they still lack empathy and compassion, bitch, because they think anyway. It was never about the collective was mean to them, or they took their favorite mochi ice cream. It was never about the collective so-called being mentally unstable. Those are confessions of all of their own true nature. The stability that you all thought these people had is not real stability. It's blood. It's off of blood of innocence. Mine, my son, and many others. It's off of theft, dear. Okay? It's off of theft, dear. And night walking. Okay? It's off of insurance scams, PPE loans, and 20 different social security numbers. Yes, dear. Off of rubbing shoulders and ass kissing. Yes, dear. Sick. They were willing to sacrifice my son's life and have him and let him be exposed to stuff. That's enough for me. That's why I'm done. That's why I'm not going to let up. Ever. That's why. Ever. It was never about some guy. Oh, she's just upset, she's, always falling for the wrong guys. And she's just, she gets involved with these thugs. And the thugs are who they with, but that's another day. She gets involved with, and she's, it's just, it's when she's heartbroken and, she's dealt with a guy and that's cheating. They ain't telling the fact that they've been interfering, lying, and inboxing us. Like, oh, man. Please. It was never about that. Divine Feminine's journey and stance and the things that happen what Divine Feminine is so angry and upset about ain't nothing to do with none of what these motherfuckers said, period. Ain't nothing to do with what none of these motherfuckers said. They covering their own ass, period. That ain't why. It's also nothing to do with Divine Feminine being cursed and being off track and all this stuff. These motherfuckers been doing this shit even when she was on a traditional path that these people pretend to be on. Okay? That's how they got her out of Cali in the first place. Because they been doing shit, people. It ain't new. They just amped it up when the time was right. You know, when there'll be less visible and all those good old things. And when the feminines got on their authentic path so that they can run with the illusion and mask in which they wear, now all of a sudden it's about being saved. Now all of a sudden they ass ain't, nigga, I'm done. Now all of a sudden right, it's about because of their spirituality. That was just a convenient ruse along with the other lies they've told. Divine Feminine ain't screwed none of these people's men. She don't want none of them. She ain't looked at none of them. She ain't never even remotely thought about any of them in her family. That's with her family members. Trust and believe that. Okay. Shit. You crazy. That's their MO. See, that's their MO. That's what they do with each other. She ain't after. She don't want them people. Most of the time, shit, hell, Feminine probably tried to hide most of the time, even when she was around, because she just didn't feel like dealing with the shit. People accuse and blaming and then dumping onto her. God forbid. If, you know what I'm saying, somebody looks her way or gives her a compliment, she hid most of the time for that damn reason. I don't even want to deal with it. I don't even want to be on the vicinity so that I could be used as some kind of target or accused of something that I ain't even fucking doing. Sick. Some of you wonder why Divine Feminine is even deconstructed. I had some interesting dreams about people of my past, from church. First Lady, one of the churches that I was really a part of for a very long time. She passed away a few years ago. I recently found out about that. Okay. She was in the dream, as well as someone that was once upon a time my best friend, as well as one of First Lady's daughter, one of her daughter's husband. I love this because you get to a phase of life where you just get tired of people really thinking their opinion matters. Especially when they're coming with a bunch of religious stuff, but they have no soul, no depth, no compassion, no true discernment. But they want to judge you and clown you. Ignorant. Why the hell they watch you is the question of the hour. That's another day. Ignorant. The collective Divine Feminine is deconstructed. This started a long time ago. See, that's what people don't know. It started for a while. It's not new. It's not as new as people think it is. When you really start to see things and experience things firsthand for yourself. Case in point, her very relatives are all so-called Christians, okay? Period. Yes. And most of them are involved in this depravity. Now, meditate and work that out in your mind. They didn't care. In fact, some of them got off, but they saved. They're Christians. They're Christian. Preaching the gospel, serving, whatever uniform and outfit they wearing. But meanwhile, they were involved in what they know they're involved with. I don't care how you all are fooled. Sick. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. That's what helped the collective. It's like, so we really supposed to be trying to hear and listen to it? Are you for real? For real? So we're really supposed to be listening to and trying to hear from the very people that has the hand in abusing us, that has a hand in stealing from us, that has a hand in sabotaging us, that has a hand with working against us, that has a hand in actually trying to cause harm so that they can get some money. We're supposed to respect these people. We're supposed to listen to them. We're supposed to want to go to church and all that. We're supposed to believe, okay, because apparently there's some kind of something ain't connecting right, or they are serving Arconian God. It's got to be something. Because if they're okay with this sickness that they've been involved with, then they're serving Arconian God. B2K. Voice to skull. B2K. Voice to skull. I am the Arconian. Go and do this to the collective of divine feminine and their children, and then turn around and make it seem like they're unstable. What they did, what they do, what they've been doing, stalking me on my social media from the beginning, going towards anybody that I share their content. I already know what they do. And now I'm throwing little tests out there every day because I know what they do. They watch those, if I repost it, they're trying to figure out who that, they're clicking to see who that person is. And they're going to get to going with the root work. And some of them are going to start unboxing motherfuckers. Promise you. Guarantee you. Guarantee. See, that harassment, that's covert, coercive abuse and misuse of information and power to sabotage someone, to make them appear a certain way as to try to take away what's theirs, is sickness. It's what's sick about these people. That's a sickness. And what's even more sick is the fact that they do claim spirituality and religion. That's not the cherry on the top. That's the pile of shit on the top. That's their uniforms. That's their cover. Sick. That's what helped liberate a lot of divine feminines from a lot of stuff that once upon a time it was like hard and it was a big deal. It liberated us like to the point where we're like, oh hell no, fuck all that. Fuck that. Foul on a play. Because these are the same people, preachy, all of a sudden they preachy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the cover, though. Why is that hard to believe? To me, this makes perfect sense. If you need a camouflage, That makes perfect sense. You're out here, okay. You do nefarious dealings. You know it. And the people you roll with know it. Okay. So what do you do to keep your your identity covered? What can you do? And I'm gonna tell you, it's an easy answer. That's why I'm kind of puzzled as to why it's so hard for humans. It's easy. You put on a persona of the opposite. So you look buttoned up, straightened up, buttoned up. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Hallelujah. Glory, glory. Jesus, Bible. You know, sage bundles. You do all of those things. Namaste, light, and happiness, and you know, you do all of the conservative. That's your uniform. You go on the polar other side. So this can be your cover. But you don't reveal that you are anywhere in the vicinity of the arena that it's linked to. This is how you're able to be initiated into a secret society. And this is how that's the requirement. And you must keep that pact, and you must, crazy make whoever the target is, whoever you all are trying to benefit off of. You ain't got to be a genius to understand that. At least you shouldn't have to be. Sick. Jealousy, envy. These people, they're happiness haters. Didn't want to see feminine happy. They want her life. And they're going to have to pay for every ounce of it they already stole. Sorry. That's what your days are going to be, honey. One way or the other. Because this is sick. It's like people beating up and abusing people or a person and then going to, a principal, a judge, or somebody and complaining and saying they're not capable of yada yada after they then gang jump them 3 times. They're not capable. That's mental illness. It's sickness, and I'm going to prove it. I am proving it. Harass somebody to death. Hire all these weirdos. Do all this spell work. Get people to put shit in food. And then say when the person's affected, even the slightest bit, they're lazy. They're not capable. Person's on the brink of adrenal failure because of all this crazy lunatic-y shit. But humans in their ignorance. As they take care of their children and are disabled, lacking empathy and compassion, and then claiming that they're not capable. They're very much fully capable if people can keep their goddamn hands out of their life and out of their business and away from their damn children. And stop stealing and trying to stop that. So it's bullshit. Yeah, they're not capable. And so, that's, and you're sick. and everything they got coming. Everything. And I mean everything. Hell, to me, it ain't even enough. They deserve it and then some is what I'm simply saying. They deserve it. Every bit of agony that they're going through now, they deserve it and then some. That's what you get when you choose the life and the path to be a sellout. When you choose that, to take from innocence, to do all those things in the name of your whatever's going on in your head, that's what happens when you choose that life and that path. Sit. Just sit. The collective of divine feminines, the irony is, that's weird. Total opposite of these people. Total. It's crazy. The irony is they didn't even really care. They didn't care to the same magnitude as these people have about stuff. You know what I mean? These people did all kinds of evil to get what was theirs or their children's. But the feminines, divine feminines, they are that divine feminine. They know on an instinctual level, subconscious level, some kind of way, because that's what happens with them. They are co-creators. They're manifestors. But not in this twisted, dark, distorted way as all these individuals are. They know they can. They have, because they've seen it. They played it out. They've lived it out time after time. They've seen it. So it's not even, for the feminines, the reason why hell is going to be unleashed or is being unleashed and is going to continue to be unleashed until the end of days is because these people did not leave her or her children alone. And it's really that simple. Sorry. It's that damn simple. When I said earlier that some of this stuff didn't have to be what it was, that's one of the truest statements I've ever made. These people's obsession is their demise. Their obsession with greed, their obsession with money, their obsession with trying to keep up with the Joneses, and their obsessions with trying to keep their false reputation intact, because essentially they're afraid of divine feminine's liberation, and her success threatens all of that. And they know it. That's a part of why they can't leave her alone. Because then if they stop all of this, then, they are afraid of how far this is going to go if they don't do it as much as they can to slow her down for as long as they can. They know they can't do it forever, and they know that at some point it's going to slap them across the forehead. But that's what for the feminines, that's what this has really been about for them, because they're totally opposite. I mean it. They're opposite of these people. Their fight is for their freedom and their autonomy and, all of their rights to be and to be left alone and, not intruded and violated in them and their children. And it's essentially that, people continuing to steal. Those are the things Not so much just these isolated events. Oh, somebody gave them a gift or left an inheritance and stuff. It's like, okay, well, you're the one going to have to live with the gypsy curse, baby. Go ahead and have fun with that. But this, bounty on their head and this insurance policies, that's the stuff she's like, oh no, we're not letting up. No empathy, no compassion for none of them. Sorry. None of them. Nope. This sacrificing of her children? Are you fucking kidding me? This dream infiltrate, all this sick shit? Nah, no empathy. You're done. For none of them. You kidding me? No. It's sick. Trying to find ways to take her children when they themselves should be really looked at and should have been against the law for shit, nigga, man. For real. Yeah. Because that's what they've been doing. That's these people's MO. Sending chaos and conflict. See, I know all about it, baby. I know all about it. So it could look like it's chaos and conflict. Y'all see it yet? It's plain and simple. They're not, they're just, oh my God. Did you? And then here comes the fake witnesses, the paid actors. Oh my God. Sick. They're all sick. Attacking, and then going to people talking about they're not capable. Infiltrating, bullying, having people travel to do stuff, all that. Calling people's, running people's credit, contacting people, all those things that they have no business fucking doing. No business at all. They're mentally ill. They're disturbed. I call into question because it seems like you're kind of stalking somebody who's trying to get away from you. Yeah, that's not it. They're just, That's sickness. That's psychopathic, sociopathic energy. And those who participate in that, well, I'm sorry, I call you into question because sorry. All you have to do is ask yourself a simple question. It's really not rocket science, folks. All you got to do is get real with yourself for maybe 5 minutes out of your otherwise fake day. Okay? 5 minutes. Be real with yourself for 5 minutes. Would you find it to be suitable for people to be infiltrating your life behind the scene under any guise and then smiling in your face? Are you okay with that? No, you're not. You'll feel some kind of way. And you wouldn't be crazy for feeling some kind of way about it. It's real simple. People are nosy. People bank on the ignorance of humans. They bank on the fears of humans. That's what these people have been doing. We're going to hide behind our fake uniform of sameness. And we're going to also exploit their fear of the unknown at the same time. so that we can push that this person is crazy and something or someone to be feared. Meanwhile, we're the monster that's been in your face the whole time. And while your life is about to fall apart and people are about to start dropping because you're in cahoots with the Black Widow now. And people are about to start dropping because you're in cahoots with the Black Widow now. Someone close to you. But people, oddly, you get that good deal from them Black widows and widows and widowers. Got them deals going. It's exciting. They get you that house. They get you that job, that promotion. They get you, them cars. They get you whatever it is. The bling. Yeah, it's fun. You go show whatever it is. They get that for you. They seem nice and sweet. They wine and dine you. Take you on vacations, pay your bills. Some of them you don't even know that they had to go do something special. Yeah, because that's your love bomb, baby. That's the love bomb. Okay, that's how they get you in the code, baby. Gotta show you what they can do. Cast that little first spell for you. Now you come on over to our club, merchant. And we, bitch, can guarantee. Just say no. Start love bombing you. And then, so you feel high and invisible for a little while. I know how this works. Believe me. You feel high and invisible for a while because they showed you their power. You got the promotion. They're showing you. This is your tangibles. Spending the money, because they're going to come in with the hook that they can hook you with. It's not going to be something that they can't hook you with. Okay? That's the angle they'll use. But see, they just don't give you the fine red print, though. They never give anybody the red print, ever. They never do. Until you're too far in, you're too far in, it's too late. They got you. They took you through the hazing process. And that hazing process is you had to prove your loyalty, and the proving your loyalty, you had to, betray the collective. Somebody is divine. Okay. On top of anything else nefarious that they got you to do. So they got you hooked. That's a part of it. The love bomb and the hazing, so that they can keep leverage over you. Because when the love bombing phase is over, when consequences start hitting your life and you start to question something and scratch your head, because at first you were getting all this trips and money and promotions, and you're getting all of this stuff at first, and now it seems like, yeah, you still have some of it, but it seems like it came with a lot of stuff they didn't tell you about in the fine red print. It started coming with you taking on some of their karma. It started coming with some of the innocent lives that are connected to you start being negatively impacted. It came with odd and weird illnesses out of nowhere for no reason. It came with things that never happened to you before, up until your deal with the devil. Never lost a job before, until you start making deals with the devil. For some of you. That's what they don't tell you. And the only thing that they're going to say to you in those times are, oh, that's just, backlash. flesh. Don't worry about that. That's just, people hating life in some cases, and then that's just the divine feminine. They're coming against you now. Yeah, see, this is the reason why you really need to go and do the things in which we have been telling you to continue to do, because they're really coming against you now because they're hating on you, because you're a part of our group and you are now being successful because you sold your soul to us. I mean, because you made a deal with us. And so, yeah, you really now need to, it's okay. It's divine feminine. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's amp this up. So what I need you to do is I need you to go here. So, and what they do is get you to do even more stuff. And you're sitting there blind because you're still under their domination. You're still possessed by them. And you do more and you do more and you do more and you do more. And then more things happen and they keep spinning to you the same story. It's the divine collective. This is why we need to amp up our game. It's them, you see? Wrong. And they're letting you pile it on. They're letting you take the hit. Damn. That's some cold piece of shit. See that's cold. That's some slick. That's cold. You gonna still keep taking this shit, because every time you go to them to question things, they're gonna redirect you. Why is this happening to me? Oh, that's divine feminine. Yeah. See, that's why we need to hurry up and amp this up. We need to do all the things. Yeah, she's doing that. She did that. That's, They don't give you the... Yeah, she's doing that. She did that. That's, They don't give you the red to. So you might as well see, this is the lesson. You can't expect those who do nefarious things to be integral. You going to them to ask is like going to the mob to ask. Do you really want to ask the mob? You have your answer in the name. That should settle all things for you. Period. There should be no need for conversation because they already have their reputation. Likewise, people who roll like that, they're going to do to you what they've been doing to everybody else. They're going to triangulate and they're going to deflect it off onto the targets to get you to continue to do the things that they've had you doing, so that you can continue to absorb some of their karma and your own, because you're making your own willful decision to continue to participate. They don't care nothing about you and what you're getting because you're doing. They don't care nothing about that. They just care about leverage and power and continuing to get their way. They just care about getting rid of the divine feminine and her children at all cost. They just care about maintaining their fake reputations at all costs. They just care about holding on to the things that they have stolen at all cost. And that's it, and that's that, and that's all. They are not interested in what you're talking about why this and that. No. They're going to use that to their advantage. So, word to the wise, don't be desperate. Don't be thirsty for success. Don't be that person. Don't be these people. African American culture, listen. Stop being masses house niggas and slaves. Don't go out like that. Don't go out like that. Don't want shit so bad. Don't be that. Don't let these, because that's how they're able to get you. That's what they do. That's how they exploit most people. Because most people are desperate. And they know it. They know it. Don't be that desperate. And don't let your own insecurities eat you up either, because that's how they get to you too. They're going to use your biases, your philosophical bends, your spiritual bends. They're going to use whatever they can use to exploit you, to get you convinced to do things that you pay for later. You. Because it's your hands, yours. Don't be that person. Don't be these people. Don't go out like that. Don't go out thirsty. Don't go out like all the standard motherfuckers in Hollywood, entertainment and sports. Anything to make it. And I mean anything. Don't be that. And then get on social media and talking about Black Lives Matter. Don't be that. Because that's how, if you take that away, it's harder. They'll still try, but it becomes harder for them to infiltrate and kind of exploit. This is why they get creative with a lot of feminines, because of that. So this is also why they tend to lean harder towards her vulnerabilities, in a sense of her children, animals, those types of things. Because they know it ain't a day when pigs fly, bitch, before they can get her to do some crazy shit. So they get her, by way of accessing that and trying to torture and trying to, lovers and stuff like that, and getting people to come in. That's usually the route for her business, her work, because when she puts up all these strong boundaries and she stands in that, they have to go creatively. So they have to infiltrate housing, they have to infiltrate business, they have to infiltrate workspaces and her children and stuff like that in order to get to her. Because she ain't making deals. She ain't for sale. She ain't for sale. She don't want no big screen TV that bad. She ain't for sale. She don't want no Escalade that bad. She don't want no promotion that bad. She ain't for sale. And they know it. Because they watched her struggle when she could have very well become a sellout in order to not struggle. That's how they know. Okay. Sick. That's why the divine feminines are done. People who are willing to have her hurt and her children hurt are in need of medical evaluation, not a relationship. I'm sorry. That's what? See, we talk a lot about maturity. You know what's so common to me in the self-help and coaching communities and all this teachings and stuff? It's easy to talk, isn't it? Isn't it? Real easy. Talking about all this maturity and, you know, what marks a mature this and that, and, you know, what's a real woman and a real man. And we talk all of this game, but, you know, when the rubber meets the road, it's so far beyond kibbles and bits. It's so far beyond that. Paying some bills, doing some maintenance around the house, running some errands. Cooking a meal, cleaning house. Sex life, love life, it's so far beyond all of that. It's all encompassing. People who are mature, they may not even be rich, but it's okay. You're a mature, good man, good woman. You are making wise choices beyond the finances. You are making wise choices with who you choose to associate with, who you choose to expose yourself to, as well as your woman and their children. You are mindful of your decisions and connections and how they will impact your life, your woman and your children and her children, and however that marks maturity. Not just I go to work, I pay bills, I cook, I clean, I fix things. That's beautiful. It ain't everything though, because if you're putting somebody in harm's way, none of that means nothing. All that just went straight down the toilet. You expose them to some lunatics. Huh? Because see, all that is a factor. See, that's where the mature divine feminines are in life. People think it's bitterness, but it's not. It's not. They've been working hard. Harder than people will ever know in terms of their heart and their emotions from all these betrayals. It's not that. It's the wisdom that it is gaining them. People who don't care about how they're affecting you and your children, that's not somebody you want to be your partner forever and ever. Amen. I'm sorry. People who can be callous to you or your children in important dates and times, and being told and instructed to be cruel and do certain things on certain, those aren't people that you want. As you have to patch up your children because you got yet another unstable motherfucker coming in and out, exploiting their vulnerability, talking about them too. That's not what a mature man and woman look like. They certainly ain't going around the town talking about people and their kids and shit like that. Grown, mature people don't initiate that kind of stuff. They will defend, no doubt. No doubt. But that ain't the meat and potatoes, and that ain't what they own. That ain't they focus, and that's not what they're initiating. For nobody, and for no amount of money, and for no reason. Maturity, I'm going here. Because, see, ain't nobody perfect. So we ain't saying nothing about perfect. But maturity can, you work through in a higher vibrational sense what's hard for you. So when life pressure is on, you ain't got no money, you stressed out, somebody, getting on your nerve, whatever. Maturity in these situations is you healthily deal. You don't run your mouth around the country. You don't go tell everybody but the people that you're in connection with. You don't exploit each other's vulnerabilities because you're having a bad day. You don't disregard one another when you're mad at one another. I said that because most people can't do that. Most people are doing that with people and things that they shouldn't be doing it with because of their addictions and their trauma. That's when you see a lot of humans get into this whole, well, let's talk about it. And, sometimes. But when they've been presented with something healthy and there's something that's coming up, then they're out because, again, them addictions. Higher bidder came in, or it was an assignment to begin with. That ain't love, that ain't maturity, and that ain't hashtag relationship goals either. This toxic Bonnie and Clyde shit, that ain't hashtag relationship goals. That's toxic. A part of the problem with society, menaces to society and shit. Yeah? That ain't bomb. Y'all watch too much TV. That ain't bomb. That ain't true love, real love, deep love. That's deep trauma bond mixed with toxic mental illness. An addiction to mayhem. That's not hashtag relationship goals. Feminine, divine feminine, she knows this now. She doesn't covet nothing, actually, but she certainly ain't coveting these people who get into these relationships and then they're toxic. They talk about each other. They're talking about other people. They're doing baneful things to people and they're getting high and having their pillow talk off of, trashing people that's living their life and minding their business. That ain't no hashtag goals. Shit. It's actually embarrassing and kind of quite sad to the divine feminine. That's the only way these people can get a high in life. That's the only way. That's the only way they feel important. That's the only way they feel relevant. That's the only way they feel like they're on top. That's the only way they feel like they're winning. She thinks that's quite sad for them. I'm grateful to have graduated from a lot of those seasons and years where it was ever even considered cute for even a millisecond that some guy that I'm with is sitting here trash talking his ex. In the name of making me feel like I'm so much bomber and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you are so much like, that's now red flag for me. It's red flag. It's red flag. Like, especially if they ain't telling you nothing about, their own ways. Oh, smell a little narky. Possible narc. If they do everything right, oof, scary. Because, no, they didn't. None of us have. And when people, now when people, if they tell me stories about, you know, how they treat and dogged people out and stuff, I don't think that's cute. I ain't laughing. I'm not hee-heeing. I don't think it's cute. I think it's okay. So you don't have tact. You don't have, see, the code that I'm picking up on it now is, oh, I got you. You don't have any tact. You don't have any sympathy or empathy. You don't know how to have regard for someone and do something in a proper and honoring manner. Okay. You assume that you know everything, and as a result, you conduct in ways that are cruel. Red flag. Because I promise you, as you all are out here and y'all getting these stories and you're hee-heeing and ha-haing about you having your pillow talk, and they talking about these people's bodies, these people's cooking, these people's, whatever, these people's beliefs, these people's kids, these people's homes, these people's, you know what I'm saying? And you smiling, because you in the kitchen and you making a bomber chicken, bitch. You're making a more bomber. Your macaroni and cheese is the more bomber. And you sitting there and you hee-hee and ha-ha. And they blowing smoke up your bum like it ain't nobody's business. And you blowing smoke up in theirs, probably. But I can guarantee you that it's hee-hee and ha-ha and it's fun. Oh, but it ain't gonna be when it's flipped. And it will be flipped. It always is. And then they're gone from you and on to the next, or they're ping-ponging some of you. Because some of you are the baby mamas and exes that can't seem to move on. Yeah, they playing into your trauma. You've my best friend. You've always. Oh my God. You're better. Woman of my dreams. Right. And guess what? They said that to the one before you, and they are saying it to the one after you. And when you fight, when you fall out, when y'all going ghost and playing these same old games that you've been playing for the last 15 years, for some of you. Even more than that, for some of you, this shit you've been playing with some of these motherfuckers for damn near 20. Yeah. They're spinning that same shit to whoever is on the roster this time. And back and forth and back and forth. And convincing all of you that each of you are the problem. And this is how they get you to get into doing stupid stuff. To prove your loyalty, but more than that, to prove how big and bad you are. Oh, I can take care of that for you, masculine. because I've been doing this. I can take care of it for you, masculine. Let me show you how a spell is cast, motherfucker. Let me show you how it's done. He's snickering inside, still looking at the pictures of the one that he's getting you to do some shit against so that you can get some shit. So that you get karma. Because he know full well too. That's why he looking at the picture. What do you think he looking at the pictures for? It ain't because Divine Feminine is just super fine. Really? That ain't it. She ain't America's Next Top Model. Please. That ain't it. I didn't say she wasn't attractive. I'm just saying that it ain't like that. She's standard in a sense. Okay? It's not like that. That ain't why. Some of these men, they done had all kinds. So it ain't for shortage. I ran across something one day that said that when a man is like complaining a lot or saying something about his exes to his current, that the opposite might be true. Like they might still have a thing with them, or you know what I'm saying? And for some of these men, sometimes they have ongoing, on and off again stuff going on with several. For some. Anyway, I got off track, but I don't mind it. When I get to going, I go and I let it roll. In short, feminine is not, it ain't for none of these reasons. The stuff that didn't happen, the choices that they've made, the reasons why they're upset. It's for none of the reasons that all these people have just done nothing but trying to save their own asses and trying to cover up and hold dear to their reputations. That's what that is. Okay? She ain't trying to steal somebody's husband. She ain't trying to break up somebody's happy home. She's not trying to make sure people don't be with nobody. See, all this shit is actually the opposite. She is not trying to what they call it? Cock block. She is not trying to. No, those are all lies. She can care less. She wants people to leave her alone, though. And when people don't, it comes with a price. She wants people to leave her alone and out of her business and out of her life and away from her children. And when people don't, it comes with a price. That is what she's going to drive in. But other than that, no. Not so much. Do they know how to let things go? Absolutely. That's all they've been doing is letting things go. But the problem is people can't let them go and let go of fucking with them. So to ask these feminists, well, they can let go. I'm never going to let go of shit people that's doing shit to me and my kid. Let go? You want me to let go of people trying to kill me and my kid? You want me to let go of people trying to make him ill, make me ill for money? You want me to let go of these psychopathic stalkers? No, these people can't let go of fucking with me. So no. But it ain't about trying to stop somebody's happy life and they marriage and somebody and woo-de-woo. Nobody don't care. Oh gosh, I promise you don't nobody care. Good gravy. Anyway, let me get going. Don't be these people, humans. Do better. Don't just be like these people making statements on social media, beautiful posts, beautiful sermons, beautiful, services and beautiful merch and all of these things, but can live it if they were actually paid the money to live it. Don't be that. Okay? Don't be these people going around talking about make good choices and you're making horrible choices every day when you decide to stalk people. Make good choices. Don't be a catchphrase person. I'm a words person. I love words. That's one of my masteries there. It's one of the reasons why they hate me. But anyway, I love words. I love play on words. I love symbolism of words. It's my thing. It's kind of why I've gotten into this whole thing of breaking down the English language and researching stuff and finding out truths about the tricks behind the spells with the English language. Fascinating. But more than that, what's fascinating to me is having hashtag goals to be what I say. For that to be my goal in life, my goal to be the energy, not just to say make good choices, but to give it all I got to actually do it, to be intentional, even if I can't be perfect, to be someone that's saying it, but then not getting, saying it on social media, then I get off and I'm plotting with some weirdo somewhere to do weird things. But then saying, make good choices. Don't be a catchphrase motherfucker. Don't just be somebody who can put together a good post and get a following and write a book. Don't be that person who can, could wow and dazzle the crowd and all of these things. But as soon as you're done with that, you're doing some foul shit in 5 minutes. Intentionally. Because at some point, we got to stop talking about mistake and accident. At some point, we got to stop saying mistake and accident and poor choice. And at some point, we got to face maybe something ain't right with us. Addiction. Maybe there's, at some point. Preaching to our kids, preaching to anybody who will let us preach to them. You know what I'm saying? And want to tell them how to live, bitch. How to live, what to do, what not to do, what they should do and ought to do and need to do and it should have been done. Want to do all of that, but yet we can't manage to. Don't be that. Saying catchphrases is not equivalent to embodiment. It's not the equivalency to it being a true reality because you can say it. Because you can quote it. Because you can dress something up like it. Because you can pay enough people to say it's true. Be it. Albeit messy, albeit imperfect, but be it. Hold yourself accountable to your own evolution that you claim to be on. And that does not include sweeping things under the rug, and it does not include trying to cover up your misdeeds. It does not include trying to stop justice from prevailing.